So, I am officially exhausted. Today was all about exploring the traditional beauty of Seoul. My legs are about to give out, but my camera roll is looking amazing. I spent my day at Bukchon Hanak Village. The architecture is marvelous. The traditional houses are such a treasure trove for me and my lens. Everything looks like it's straight out of a historical drama. Very dramatic. Oh, and I had a guide, Hyun Seo. She knew all the best locations. Our chat today was funny. Kiyoshi was trying out a new recipe, a fusion spin on takoyaki, curry and cheese. Quite a concoction, I must say. It could be a hit or an absolute disaster. He'll keep us posted, though. In the meantime, I think we are all secretly praying he cooks something more traditional when we visit him next time. I already told him that. Midori had a splendid idea of a reality show, Kiyoshi's Kitchen Scares. Can you imagine that on TV? It was nice reminiscing about our uni art exhibition days. Kiyoshi and Midori brought it up. The nostalgia hit hard. Reminded me of those stressful days, critiques, rushed projects, and last-minute all-nighters. We also had those unforgettable moments of late-night pizzas, totally bizarro brainstorming sessions. Those days were insane, but looking back, they were so precious. Bukchon reminded me of those art exhibitions. The traditional Hanok houses. Each one is a piece of art on its own. It's like the fusion of classic and modern designs, timeless, very much like our insanity mixed with creativity. Similar, right? Isn't life funny like that? I think I'm going off a tangent. I tend to do that more often these days. The nostalgic moments just keep on coming. Anyway, I need to start editing the photographs now. Maybe I'll find some hidden gems in the reel. You know the beauty of editing. You never know what you might discover in a picture that seemed ordinary at first. Well, wish me luck. So, I went to this underground live music event today. Quite an interesting scene, really. Stumbled upon a local indie band, Radiant Strings. They had this enchantingly unique sound. It was a mix of folk rock sprinkled with jazz, the perfect lounge vibe, one might say. There were many talented musicians out there, but Radiant Strings truly stood out. The venue was buzzing with energy. You'd think underground. It's going to be clandestine, right? Wrong, my friend. It was far from it. More like a beautiful symphony of chaotic harmony. A blend of anticipation, joy, surprise, and a whole lot of good music. An amalgamation, if you will, echoing through the cobbled streets. And in the middle of it all was this band, pouring their heart and soul into every note they played. Listening to those tunes, I couldn't help but appreciate the raw, untamed beauty of their music. One particular song, Moonlit Stroll, was a revelation. Jae-ho, the lead guitarist, absolutely nailed the riff. It was like the guitar was telling a story. A story of loving, longing, losing, and eventually finding oneself again. I've always admired artists who can express so much, purely through the medium of sound. And you remember Kiyoshi, right? Well, he shared on our group chat about his nighttime fishing plans at Ueno Park. Serene, isn't it? Midori found it fascinating to how he developed such a unique hobby. He told us it helped him unwind after culinary school. Midori and Kiyoshi always come up with the most whimsical topics that send us down the rabbit hole. Then we started chatting about Radiant Strings. I told them how the performances were, how moved I was by Jae-ho's song, and they seemed pretty excited about it. Midori is excited to look the band up, and Kiyoshi is suddenly craving for some live music. It was funny how Kiyoshi and Midori always sway our talks into unexpected musings. Suddenly, Midori was asking about smells, or more precisely, why we can't smell cold. We even ended up debating, does two-pronged forks make us feel more fancy when we eat? Sometimes I really wonder how we end up having these odd yet intriguing conversations. It's amusing, the directions our talks wind up in. Do you remember when we used to have those kinds of conversations? Where we'd start off on one topic and somehow end up on another, completely unrelated and yet equally captivating. Those are the kinds of talks that feel like home, don't they? It's quite amusing, these conversations. They have an uncanny ability to make the mundane seem magical, the everyday extraordinary. And so our day unwinds, one elegant, mirthful, splendid conversation at a time. So you remember how I've been working on sustainable designs at the startup I joined, right? Today we had a breakthrough. We came up with this idea to create an eco-friendly furniture line using recycled EV parts. I must say, it felt like we're truly living on the edge of innovation. Brainstorming with Yunho was pretty surreal. Our passion for sustainability and design just meshed together really well. I mean, who would have thought we'd be designing tables and sofas with old battery modules and car panels? It's basically merging the automotive world with home decor. We want to spread the message of sustainability without sacrificing style and aesthetics. It honestly felt like a blockbuster movie plot. The entire team is pretty excited about it. And speaking of movies, our friend Kiyoshi stirred up quite a storm in our group chat. He was filled with anticipation for the new Batman movie. Used to love those comic books growing up, you remember? The film chats got pretty heated up. I think we all secretly cherish our own favorite Batman actor. In between our heated movie debates, I managed to spill some tea about our eco-furniture project. I couldn't help but share it. The response was pretty amusing, to say the least. Midori, always the fashion enthusiast, found the idea of eco-fashionable furniture quite fascinating. Kiyoshi, on the other hand, was more interested in experimenting with sushi. This time, kiwi sushi, who does that? Still, it was laughter galore on the chat. We exchanged our own funny combination of food items we'd tried. Mango and shrimp, chocolate pie and marshmallow. Even the thought is making me drool a little. So in the spirit of all our culinary escapades, we decided on a cookout next week. Feeling like our own little version of MasterChef. It's always fun catching up with them and bouncing off each other's wacky ideas. Makes me miss those eccentric discussions we used to have, you remember? I am genuinely looking forward to this cookout. Speaking of which, I'm thinking of treating them to a Korean pancake. Soju on the side, of course.